As I may have mentioned, I spent an inordinate amount of my time and years, if not decades of my life, trying to dig deeper, to research, to find out and understand sort of the complexities of how the world works. And I went down a lot of rabbit holes. Both as part of my job, but mainly on my own time. It's fascinating how much information, how much knowledge is out there. But at the back of my mind, it was always possible to convince myself that no, it's not all true. These things can't possibly be real. There was always a rational explanation, I guess a justification for all of the extremes that were brought up. And like anybody else, I still had trouble letting go of the initial training. So I wanted to cite a couple of specific examples of how that shifted radically for me. So I'd learned about the concept of MK Ultra, brainwashing, applying physical and psychological torture to the point of shattering a human being's psyche and being able to artificially create distinct personalities to be able to control and manipulate people. I learned about all the stuff that's coming out now, I don't know, decade and a half ago, with regards to the belief systems and rituals and I guess extreme evil that exists in terms of ritual abuse, child abuse. And it's one thing to sort of conceptually know about it, right? It's possible to, grasp and comprehend on a mental level and sort of be able to put it together. The other thing that I wanted to bring up is they show us both to gloat, but also to create the image, the emotion in our minds. Just think about movies like Rosemary's Baby or Eyes Wide Shut, and I'm sure there's a string of others that I haven't seen yet, but you all can relate to. So it's one thing to conceptually have knowledge of something, and another when you meet in person a victim of such a cult who goes on to describe in very lurid and impossibly detailed ways in which this has happened to them personally. And you can see the anguish in their eyes, and you can see the effects that it's had on the kids. Likewise, I obviously understood the fact that we're not alone in the universe, that there must be intelligent life forms out there. Big fan of science fiction, and would always be open to the possibility that yes, of course, in fact, humans have had contact with extraterrestrial civilizations. But it's quite another thing when somebody that I've known since I was 13 tells me about their experiences, and very detailed, and again, impossibly detailed form. It's one thing to know about the cloak and dagger, clandestine workings and corruption and nepotism of government, and to hear stories and to have conversations with friends and acquaintances about how rotten the system is. But it's quite another to actually meet and speak to someone who's had family members killed because they wanted to do their job, and they apparently had found by accident, not intentionally, some third rail that people with power did not want exposed. So I guess the point of this diatribe is just, obviously I'm just some guy on the internet, and I'm an anecdotal example, not collective proof. But if you're willing to consider the possibility, if you're open to the learning that's available, I'm unfortunately sure that you too can actually, if not view firsthand, but certainly hear first-person testimony from someone that can verify all of the crazy, outlandish, and unbelievable claims that are floating out there. There's a creator on TikTok that I quite like. He stays away from serious topics, but his segment is called Shit's Getting Weird. And ladies and gentlemen, yes, indeed, shit's getting weird, and it will continue to get weirder as time progresses and speeds up further. So I guess I just wanted to encourage you to try to enjoy the ride as much as possible, to keep your wits about you, to remind you that one of the main intents of everything that's happening is to make you lose your balance, to make you be fearful, to make you panic. Don't give in. Keep looking into yourself, because that is really the only secure spot in the world ever, but certainly increasingly so now. Make sure not to let it overwhelm you. Don't worry about it, stress about it, obsess about it like I did, and spend more time on things that are important. Hug someone, enjoy the outdoors, have a blessed day. I'll talk to you soon.